In this movie, I'll show you how to import a photograph or other pixel-based image into an Illustrator document using the Place command under the File menu. Now I've gone ahead and created a document in advance here. It's a single-page document that measures exactly 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall. I've got this gray rectangle in the background just so that we can see these various white elements that will ultimately be positioned in front of the photo. To acquire that photo, go up to the File menu and choose the Place command. Now, if you're working along with me, you want to navigate to the 19 Place Images folder found inside the Exercise Files folder, which is available to those of you who are premium members or have access to the DVD version of this course. Now, when you look in this folder, you'll see more files than this, but I haven't created all those files as I'm recording this movie. So what I'd like you to do is select this file called SpanishTownDinosaurs.tiff, which is a file that I've prepared inside Photoshop. Then drop down to these checkboxes here. You want to make sure that the link checkbox is turned on. What that's going to do is tell Illustrator to link to this image file on disk. That's going to be the more efficient solution than embedding the file, which is the alternative. And we'll discuss the differences between linking and embedding in a future movie. It's also going to ensure that if you make any changes to this image file, say inside Photoshop, and then save out your changes, those changes will be immediately reflected inside Illustrator. You also want to make sure the template layer is turned off. Were you to turn template on, then Illustrator would place this image on a new layer at the bottom of the stack. That layer would be locked and non-printing, and it would also be dimmed. The idea being that you could then trace the image using Illustrator's bevy of vector-based drawing tools, which is great if we were importing a piece of scanned line art that we wanted to convert to a vector-based illustration. However, in our case, we want the photograph to be a printing member of the document. So you want the template checkbox to be turned off. So link should be on, template should be off, as by default, incidentally. Then click on the Place button in order to introduce that image. Now, I've sized this image inside Photoshop, so it measures exactly 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall. In other words, the exact same size as the artboard. And so it looks like Illustrator has nailed the positioning. However, that might not be exactly the case. And if you want to confirm things, just to make sure everything's exactly where it should be, then go up to the control panel, click on the Align icon, and make sure that it's set to Align to Artboard. Then, let's say you want to align the top right corner of the image to the top right corner of the artboard. You would click on Horizontal Align Left, which is, if you look carefully, it's going to nudge the image slightly over to the right. And then you also want to click on Vertical Align Top, which doesn't make any difference in my case, but it's a good precaution. And that, folks, is how you go about placing a photograph or other pixel-based image into a vector-based document here inside Illustrator.